Hey, how are you? Peace and love. I'm loving this conversation today.
Peace and love. Peace and love. Thanks for joining the conversation. Thanks for, adding your thoughts.
I feel like it's like you said, it's a dance, and we all just dancing with what we are internally understanding, and then everybody's nuggets like a meditation to sit and ponder upon, which is very beautiful. So thank you for these micro dance meditations.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're the first person to call it that. Micro dance meditations. I love that. That's got a nice ring to it.
Yeah, I like it. I just wanted to say, like, today I was reading the Bible, and I feel like sometimes the Bible just has codes that are meant to be decoded, not, ritualized or, and it was saying something like, I'm going to butcher a little bit because I was reading it in Portuguese, not, but it was Corinthians 2 7, 2 Corinthians 7, and it was saying that for God, I actually,
Well, uh-oh.
oh, sorry.
You back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it says, sadness for God brings is not about bringing remorse. It's about finding that peace where we feel like not. It's like wanting to solve yourself from that illusion, if that makes sense.
You said sadness for God?
Okay, so let me rewind back.
Mm-hmm.
So to the world, sadness brings death,
Mm.
but to God, it brings salvation.
Mm. Mm.
And I feel like this goes with the empathy conversation, because anytime we are judging one another or we are finding fault is because there's something within ourselves that we also find that fault or that same resolution.
Mm-hmm.
And through the forgiveness of self first, wow, look at that. It was a red cardinal. Um, yeah, through the forgiveness of ourselves first and finding the ugliness and the mush, it's where like the butterfly goes into that cocoon energy, and it becomes the crap, it becomes all of it. And then from that place we can actually alchemize into the beauty of what we are meant to be.
Right.
But we don't get there because we judge ourselves for those things. So it's like, no, 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 I can't be mush. No, 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 I can't be ugly. No, 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 I can't be dot dot dot, which is what we judge others for being. And when we find within ourselves that we are also that ugly, we also have these ugly desires. And that is what makes us human. That is what makes us all of it. And I remember one time I was writing a poem around death. When somebody dies, we miss the ugliness. We miss the farts. We miss the noise. We make the things that annoyed us about that human. We wish we could have just 1 minute of that annoyingness back. And that is to remind us that we are all of it. God is not just the perfection that we think, but He is the funniness. He is the annoyingness. He's the creator of it all. But because we think that He's this perfection, and we put it like we are not that perfect yet, then we think that all of the things that are also God, the ugliness, the things that we judge, those are also God and created by God. So that was what I wanted to share.
Wholeness. Oh my gosh. Oh
Thank
my
you.
goodness. Wow. What a word. What a word, what a message that we needed today. Like this is what the message is. This is what it's all about. Thank you for sharing that. Just like that reflection and just that connection with it all. Even if it's like appreciating the whole spectrum, not just leaving, this out and saying I like this, but I don't like that. You're saying just the totality of it, giving gratitude for it all.
And it's not easy. And I'm not trying to make it into like this beautiful thing where we like, oh, no, it's ugly.
Mm.
It's actually dark and ugly to go within the depths of ourselves. and see, damn, I'm all of that shit that I judged that person for.
Mm.
Or I had a lifetime that I did the same exact mistake. And then it's like the micro and the macro is like the same way I can judge. For example, like I come from Africa and I always used to judge like, oh, the president's so corrupted. I don't know how they could be so corrupted, blah, blah, blah. And not, but it's like, but what about me? Because
Mm.
it's like everybody's doing the same thing at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being corrupted by not being the one to also support. And then when we put ourselves in like that same thing, we judge like, oh, that person's always lying. I don't like people that. Where are you lying? Because if that person is in your frequency, there's something about you that matches that frequency.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. So it's almost like taking ownership.
Sitting with the ugly, and honestly, it's been hard for me to do. But the more I do, the more I find myself in finding the untangled position of this dance of like the freedom is actually through the pain, because it's like a story, right? It's like I tell you, I'm gonna write the story and you're gonna be the bad guy in the story, okay? And then you go in the story, you act it out, you do exactly all of the bad things, and now you feel so bad that you can't find yourself again because you judge yourself from the story. And then it's like your next chapter of your life, your next life, you can't actually dissolve yourself from the judgment that you put on based on that story that was just a story, just
Right.
a play. But that is the karma that you're now living in because you didn't dissolve yourself. So we created our own karmas in fear that karma will come. Like, I wasn't forgiving myself because I'm like, if I have to forgive myself, it means like I deserve to pay for karma.
Mm.
But then I realized I am paying for the karma because I'm not releasing
Whoa.
myself. So the attachment of me with that story, which is the fear that I had of like, if I release the fear, that means I have to pay for what I did. But no, I was paying for what I did in this past life because I was holding on to the web that connected me back to that story. So I was recreating stories based on that story because I wasn't allowing myself to truly forgive. And then there was nothing to really forgive.
Mm.
It was just like walking through this shame that no one else is holding but myself.
Mm. Wow. Jesus. Oh my God. It's like what if like I remember someone said it's like drinking poison and waiting for someone else to die. Like you're the only one. It's eating you up inside. It's not hurting anyone else but you.
It's like when people are in relationships, they like to, like, if the relationship is going bad, they like to say, he's this, he's that, he's this. And I always say, but where is that in you? And no one wants to take responsibility. So they continue to put themselves back in this disappointment energy to prove to themselves that this person is this. But the only way for them to untangle from this is for them to find in themselves and like kill that energy within you. So that person can't reflect from that energy anymore because you no longer resonate in that frequency. And I think the question of like, what is a better human is the one that allows all of it and sees all of it as a play and doesn't attach. And that's why I said curiosity,
Mhm.
because the curiosity, I was watching a anime, and the kid that had the most power, he wasn't attached to any of it. He's like, yeah, let's go do
Yeah.
it. Why not? I want to do it. Yeah. And that always gave him his power back because he wasn't attached to what the story is going to mean, what did this meant, or there was no judgment in him,
Right.
but curiosity leading.
Curiosity.
And I think that goes back to, I'll end with this, is like when in the Bible where it says, only those with the heart of the child will go back into the kingdom.
Wow.
The heart of the child is that curiosity spirit.
Yeah.
And like a kid, when they're in that frequency, they're not caring who's the better human. They just there for their pure enjoyment of self.
Right. Right.
Thank you.
No, beautiful.
Thank you for allowing me to process this because it's something I've been dancing with. And
Thank, thank you. Thank
thank
you.
you.
Like these are beautiful things to ponder, you know. It's beautiful things to just talk about and really voice and express because you're helping me puzzle out a lot of things as well. You know, that childlike wonder, that just state of, you know, bewilderment, that state of curiosity, that state of just, you know, innocence like a child, you know, and just being able to play and bringing that into your day. Because what was the anime called that you were watching? What was the anime?
Um, his name is Tanjiro, and I forgot the name of the anime.
Tanjiro. Okay. It
I'll send
sounds
it
slightly.
to you after.
Send it to me. Send it to me because what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're saying like this is how we can dissolve that karma.
Because when I was walking through that burn of like whatever old stories were coming up, it was anytime because I was like, I want to release myself. I just want to clear it. I just want to cut whatever's bad. But it was just like the moment that I allowed myself to be in that state of curiosity. Okay, what is it that this is trying to teach me right now? That's how I started to unwind it. But when I would put pressure in it, it became more heavy, more dense, and it didn't unlock. And then the moment I was like, God, show me. I'm curious. Not with judgment to clear something that needs to be clear because the lesson won't be understood from that place. It's not the wanting or the needing. It's it's almost like the curiosity of understanding, and from this place of intentionality with the curiosity, instead of being like, I just want to clean myself and
Right,
be the better human.
right.
And then when I would go like that, I could dance with the energy, and then the energy was like, you know, the only way for you to actually understand your purpose is by you understanding what you are not, because there you will find that you are the creator of that same thing, which is now your mission to clear. But we don't want to see that we created something that needs to be cleaned up by
Okay,
us. But that's what gives us the purpose. But
okay,
because of the shame or the stories of like, I can't be this bad, we can't actually see that we made a mess.
okay.
And without seeing the mess, what mission do you have to clean? It's like if the house is always clean, why would you have to clean it?
Hmm. Wow, that's a great question. So, in order to see the mission, you have to see the mess before you see the mission. Okay.
And in that
I love,
ugliness,
I love.
it's
Hmm.
that cocoon energy where
Right.
we become the shit.
Mm.
We see the shit, we feel the shit, and the shit is no longer shit because that is what will be alchemized to create the butterfly. The
Yeah.
butterfly has to become one with all of it. And I think that key right there is where we kind of see all the pain in our ancestrally line. We see all of the wounds, and then we like, oh, I get it.
Mm.
I get that there's sins that's been recreated and replayed, and even I would have probably done the same way. And from that place, we start to like, okay, where in me does distrust of God? Where in me am I fearful? Because fear is false evidence appearing real, and then we grasp onto it, and now we connect it to the fear. And if we connect it to the fear, you can't be connected to source.
Right.
But then it's like I hear God just laughing, the same way you were just laughing, because it's just a play.
Mm.
We just came here, do your play. If it sucks, it sucks. You can do another one. But we attach to what our play needs to look like. But it's just a play. If you suck this time, you can come back the next time and make it better.
Yeah. So no need to place that harsh expectation, you know, on the play. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Please, before you go, let me know. I need to know like how to pronounce it correctly. Yeah.
So Tamyris. Tamyris. Yep.
Tamirish. Tamirish.
Hmm.
Where is
It's a Brazilian Portuguese.
it from?
Brazil.
Tamirish. Tamirish
Tamiri.
from Brazil, Portuguese.
I'm not from Brazil. I'm actually from Africa, but my parents named me after a Brazilian show or something. But
Okay. Okay.
much love.
Blessings. Oh,
Thank you.
thank you for coming on.
Peace and love,
Peace,
everyone. Blessed day.
peace, peace. Take care.